Expert care from people who care. Hey, today we are at the Outreach Teen and Family Services office, and today we are going to be covering holiday grief and just being back home with family and what that's like. We're going to start out with something more light with the Fast 5 questions. So, real tree or fake tree? I've always done a fake tree because of all my pets.
Yeah, we've always done fake trees too in my house. We've had the same one since I was like 6 months old. So
literally.
yeah, it's going strong at 20.
My family's always had a fake tree.
Yeah.
But now I live in a house with my boyfriend.
Oh.
And I really want to get a real tree.
You should. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. He's not like really sold on the idea though. And we have a dog who's super curious.
Oh,
so right now we have like a tiny fake tree. And we'll see if anything else happens.
I heard real trees make your house smell good.
Yeah, I have heard
What is it,
that.
like evergreen?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's so cute going to like a Christmas tree farm, but
I know, like
I
the
have a plastic
idea
tree.
of
Yeah.
it sounds amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a Hallmark movie.
Yes.
And Last Christmas or All I Want for Christmas Is You for like favorite Christmas song. I think Last Christmas because it's kind of sad. And I kind of like that.
I like them both. I'm gonna say All I Want for Christmas Is You.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
That's a classic.
it's
so.
really tough because some Christmases I could really relate to Last Christmas.
Yeah, that's.
And then other Christmases I can relate to All I Want for Christmas Is You.
That's
But I'm
really
gonna go
fair.
with the All I Want for Christmas Is You this year.
There you go.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
She's defrosted
Oh my
finally.
gosh, she is.
And decorating or present wrapping. I think I like present wrapping because I've started getting into like using like the cardboard like paper and drawing on it. So it's like
Oh.
tailored to that person that I'm giving it to.
Oh, that's cute.
I love that face. So creative.
It makes it more fun, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm like the least creative person there is. So I'm gonna say decorating, but even that's not my strong suit. But present wrapping, there's a picture of I tried wrapping a box for my boyfriend. I think there was a sweatshirt in it.
Yeah.
And you know how you put the cardboard around it
Yeah.
so that
Mhm.
it looks like a box? I didn't calculate right, so there was just a hole of you just
Oh,
cardboard
no.
around the paper. So I like cut a square and just smacked it on and taped it.
That's
See, I
so
think that's
funny.
so perfect. Like,
I
that's
can't
funny.
wrap.
Yeah. I'd say decorate. I like
That's
to decorate
fair.
more than wrap. It's too like wrapping's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I
And
get
I'm not,
that.
not the best at those type of tasks.
And for Christmas movie, Elf or Home Alone? I gotta go with Elf.
Elf.
It's too funny.
Me too. I watched that last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
I always get sick with the spaghetti though. I can't watch it, put the chocolate on it and
Yeah.
eat it. I'm like, that's enough though, actually.
Oh, that's
I'm all
funny.
for like sweet and savory, but chocolate and spaghetti and like
Ugh.
syrup
Just pushes it a little bit too much.
Definitely.
over the line just slightly.
And cookies or candy canes? I have to say cookies. Like that's the best part of Christmas is all the fresh cookies.
I agree.
Guys, I love peppermint.
Really?
Peppermint is like my favorite. I'm
Really?
obsessed with candy canes.
I don't think I've ever heard someone say
I know. I'm sure it's
I
still
like
very
that, though.
unpopular opinion.
They used to give us candy canes at church, and all the little kids would make spears at the end of it.
Oh my
Oh my
god,
gosh.
yes.
It would be like poking.
Like sharpening up
Yeah.
the end of it.
I'd be like, can I have that?
Although I do like peppermint though. But
Oh, I love peppermint.
we'd like to take a moment to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health. They've been our steadfast annual sponsor, supporting our podcast for 5 consecutive years now.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
And I guess just like a little kind of trigger warning that some of the material might be a little bit sadder today because with grief, I think I can kind of just cover a lot of different things. But
Definitely.
yeah.
And please know, for anyone listening, like outreach is really here for everyone. During the holidays, it can be a time of a lot of emotion,
Mhm.
right? And we're here to support anyone who's between the ages of 5 to 21, as well as your family system. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and we're here to support.
Yeah, I think with that, there's just so many feelings that do come with the holidays. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard to just say that you feel one thing consecutively every single
Yeah.
year. I think
Mhm.
especially as I've gotten older too, I've noticed that holidays don't feel the exact same as they did when you were little. Like, there's a
Mhm.
lot
I
more
agree with that.
magic when
Yeah.
you're younger, and then when you grow up, it's like kind of having to try a lot harder to recreate a lot of that magic.
Yeah, or like find the magic
Yeah.
again. As a kid, it seemed like it was just there.
I think that's why I struggle so much sometimes with the holidays
Mhm.
because, like you said, the one emotion, but I feel like the one emotion that's meant to always be felt is just happiness and love.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like most times I feel stress and like anxiety.
Yeah.
No, I get that
So-
so heavily.
But I do feel love and happiness and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of other emotions too that I feel get disregarded.
Yeah.
So
And then I don't know about you, Sarah, but doesn't that feel like conflicting?
It
Because you're like
does.
trying to tell yourself like I'm supposed to feel happy.
yeah,
And then it's hard to just like name and acknowledge and like be
Yeah.
how you truly
it's
feel.
very conflicting. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And I think kind of like what you mentioned with stress is a lot of that too, like part of just being back with family. Is there like a level of like kind of just the pressure that comes with that?
I feel like I have a life. It sounds really bad, but like a life at school and a life at home.
Mm-hmm.
And my dynamics there are different. I love my family, and then I love my roommates and who I'm with at school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just adjusting between the two for like only a short period of time,
Mm-hmm.
but it just is more of like it feels I'm back in high school when I'm at home, and I just feel more
Yeah.
like less confident in a way, even though I
Mhm.
guess that's not like, or independent, I guess is a better word for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also just the stress of like the things that I take from school with me back home,
Mm-hmm.
and also wanting to make sure I'm around my family enough and like be with them enough and hang out
Yeah.
with them. But I also have other things I have, like I have 2 jobs.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
So just the balance of that is more so what like stresses me out. But,
Yeah. I think that balance is like the most stressful part of it.
yeah.
Because I definitely feel that too, especially right now, like looking, because like during the break, I'm like, I have to plan ahead more,
Mhm.
like looking into
Mhm.
grad programs and stuff, which is
That's
something like
exciting.
past breaks, I'm like, I'm going to do nothing the entire time because I'm
Yeah.
finished with school.
Right.
And then you still do have to work and do other responsibilities when you get older. It's not so just not doing anything at all. But I think it's definitely weird because your body's like so ready like from school to like just rest. And then you're
For
like, but I
sure.
do need to like check in with old friends, or I do need to have
Mhm.
family that I check in with,
Yeah.
and then all those pressures just kind
Start
of
piling
combine.
up.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I think that's the other thing too with that is my family from Connecticut and Massachusetts always comes in for the holidays. I love them so dearly. Don't get me wrong, but there's so many of them. At least 20 or 25.
Mhm.
Wow, that's
Just, like,
a
that's
lot of
insane.
people.
When everyone's there, but I think less are coming this year, but it's just the like go of
Mm-hmm.
we only have they come in right after Christmas usually, and we only see
Mhm.
them from like the 27th or 28th to New Year's, so it's just those
Mhm.
couple of days. It's just so much like
Yeah.
family stuff and social battery, and it just
Yeah.
I know that sounds really bad.
No,
It
I
really
get
doesn't. I
that,
think
but-
so many people. I think that's the real. Like I think so
Yeah.
many people can resonate with that,
Mhm.
and it's like you're all really working towards this holiday break, and then it's like you get to the break and it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a break.
Yeah, exactly.
And that can be really. That's just really tough.
Yeah,
It's not what you're like
Yeah.
expecting or wanting per se.
yeah.
But you're also trying to see the good and just be present with people as well.
Exactly. Like I've like coined this one term that I've always told people that I feel during like this time of the year. It's like an end of the year ache in my bones. Like I feel like there's a different
Ooh.
weight that comes at the end of the year when you're moving into the beginning of the new year,
Yeah.
because it gives you like I feel like I get most reflective in December and January.
Mhm.
Because you're like, wow, this all just like this year's already over. Like, where did all that time
Time
go?
go.
And then on top of the stress you're feeling with everything else, I always find it to be such a time of like, wow, I can't believe I'm here right now. Like all this time has already gone by. Like it like freaks me out a little bit when I'm like looking ahead.
That's so real because I swear New Year's Day was yesterday.
I
No,
know.
it's not. Like, oh my gosh, 11 months. it's a crazy time period.
And like when you're going through things, you're like, this is never gonna pass, and then it's like, oh, we're already going into the new year. What happened?
Right.
And then New Year's resolutions come around, and I always say I'm gonna do it.
I know.
do it.
That's so real, actually. I'm like, no, I'll stick to it this year.
We should do an episode on that. Like, just talking about, like,
New Year's resolutions.
what that is, and I think that would be a good
That
episode.
would be good. I just am so bad at like actually applying it. Like I have a perfect list, and then I'm like, oh, but here's all these other responsibilities that I have that are kind of getting in the way of these little resolutions.
I know. I just, like, I don't love the idea, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I've really tried to reframe it as intentions
That's
Yeah.
good.
to live
I like
by, and then I try to compartmentalize, like, per month,
that.
like, one thing I want to
Yeah.
focus on.
I like that.
And I
actually.
found that feels a lot more, like, attainable
Yeah.
and, like, human, rather than, like, I'm going to make this goal and stick to it every day. Like, we have hard days, but it's just not really realistic in my opinion.
I used to have a list, and it would be like, drink 4 Stanleys of water a day, work out every day,
No,
eat healthy, and I
actually.
would try and do all of that in one day, and I'd be like, what is going on? Someone help me. I can't
It's
do
kind
it
of like
all.
the 75 hard challenge, like on crack for New
Yes.
Year's resolutions, because it's like
Yeah.
not only you're going to try to exercise, but you're going to try to put yourself out there and do all these other things. And it's,
Mhm.
yeah, I like the pacing yourself though, like with
Yeah.
just doing one thing or like have one
Yeah.
goal. I like that a lot more. Actually.
Yeah, and even that's kind of hard. Like, I have to
Yeah.
look back and, like, oh, December, what did I want to be intentional on? But then it's like, okay, it's one thing,
Mhm.
so then I can always just kind of bounce back and try my best the next day.
Yeah, that's true.
Outside of like, I guess New Year's resolutions. Sorry, this is kind of bouncing back a little bit. Just with like being back with my family. I think one of the things that I struggle with a little bit is we all have our own lives, but when
Mhm.
obviously we're a family and we live together and we live in the same house, but we are all doing our own different things. So even when I am there, sometimes no one's there, which is fine.
Mhm.
Like, I totally understand that. But I guess as we get older, it just gets harder to like find the time for each other
Mhm.
in a way. And I'm sure they see each other much more during the week because like I don't live at home.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess that is like a unspoken of pressure just because you know you don't see them as often, even though they only live 25 minutes away. But just adjusting their schedule and what they have going on to
Mhm.
what I have going on and my jobs and the friends I want to see and the things I want to
Yeah.
do. So
I think too with that, like I always felt like a different pressure with like older relatives because I'm like the
Yeah,
pressure to like
that's
see
true.
them and like spend time with them seems just so much more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like so it's like, well, I need like you want to just carve out that time, but still like with their lives still going on and yours moving at the same time, that's not always completely obtainable.
yeah, I totally get that. The other thing with the holidays, of course, is buying gifts. Who doesn't love buying gifts? Personally, I don't know why my family does it like this, but we all buy gifts for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Santa comes down the chimney and grants us beautiful things as well.
Of course.
But I have 3 older sisters, and I have my mom and my dad, and then we have 2 dogs. And for some reason, since we were little, me and my sisters have made it a mission to, like, each get each other a gift. So, like, I'm buying 3 gifts.
Yeah.
Like, 3 separate ones. And as I get older, I'm like, oh, crap. Because, like, everything gets more expensive. Everything. I want everything to mean something to them. So I only have a couple gifts picked out right now. But it's also just, like, when you're in college and you're trying to, like, save your money, but also you want to make a holiday memorable. And then, of course, I want to buy something for my parents. I want to buy something for my boyfriend.
Right.
My dogs.
The dogs,
like,
of
they
course.
need new toys, of course.
I find the dogs are like pets are the easiest ones to buy.
I
for.
know. And my dog will be happy with anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that too, like, because it's like the financial aspect of it is obviously very, very stressful.
Definitely.
And then too, like, I always am so bad at like knowing a balance. Like I like usually just get way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel bad like not, I don't know, it like doesn't even make sense. I'm like 3 gifts isn't enough or like 2 isn't enough. Like,
Yeah.
and then like when that adds up and I'm like, oh, I'm struggling
Mm-hmm.
now, and like that does add a different, and that's also why I end up working so much during the break anyway, because I like to sustain that too.
Right.
Um,
Kind of offset the.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to my roommates about that, of how much I'll probably work during break, because Point Park's break is insanely long.
Yeah,
It's
same.
Oh,
over
is
a
it?
month. Yeah.
Whoa.
And last year we would go back like the first week of January. Now we don't go back till January 20th. And that's what I'm
That's
talking
actually
about,
kinda
like
crazy.
being at home when no one's home. I
Yeah.
might just come back and live in my apartment and work. Cause, like,
I mean, that's fair.
like, come back
Yeah.
a week early or something, because I need to keep making money and like just doing life.
Right,
You know,
right. Like
like-
being in your routine.
Yeah,
and...
I love a good break, but
Mhm.
the 20th is so long.
That's a really long time.
And I
And
don't
when
know-
does your break start?
My last final is the 12th. So like the
That's
14th, I guess.
yeah, that's a
It's
really
really
long
long.
time.
So last year we were floating with like just a couple weeks, like,
Mhm.
but now it's like 6 or was that 5 weeks or something like that?
Sounds
Yeah.
seems like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a really long time.
I think too with breaks, like I find it hard to be so out of routine because like
Mhm.
classes give you such a like strict schedule
Like
to
a
follow.
structure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've like when I was younger, I didn't realize that that was something that I needed so badly. But then COVID
Mhm.
happened, and I had no structure,
Yes.
and I struggled so much with that. And now I'm like, I need to like have things planned out for me to like be able to function like a normal human being.
Mhm.
So like during breaks when it's like there's no classes, I still have to like really try to structure, like have something in there
Yeah.
that's always set for me.
Yeah.
Because that's like, I don't know, like my brain needs to have that like expected aspect to it, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's such a great coping strategy to navigate stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if we have structure,
Yeah.
we're automatically probably going to be in a more regulated state because
Yeah.
we know what to expect. And the holidays can really bring the unexpected, right? I don't know what
For sure.
my aunt might ask me, right? Or there's
Yeah.
just a lot of unexpected
That's
feelings,
Yeah.
thoughts, social interactions that may
Definitely.
happen. So I think that's such a great way to really try to manage stress in a
Mhm.
healthy way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a huge part of it too, because it just
Mhm.
gives you something that's not fully just yours, but also like it just, your brain's able to like focus specifically on that
Yeah.
versus the other things that maybe aren't so great.
Right, right.
Also, when you have those things structured, it takes your mind off of whatever's stressing you out.
Mhm.
At least for me, I went to the gym with my roommates today, and I just focused on like working out, and that was,
Yeah.
I guess, my stress relief for the day. But just little things like that, I totally agree with that though.
It makes such a difference. Like
It
I
really
love
does.
just
Mhm.
like I'm definitely an extrovert and do really enjoy social
Mhm.
interaction.
Mhm.
But man, when I can just go on like a winter walk by myself,
Yeah.
I just notice like my
Mhm.
stress melts away and my mood is just instantly happier.
You like need that time to recharge, and like sometimes like
Yeah.
even though a break you assume that you'll have that
Right.
with everything going on, sometimes you don't have that like just specific time for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the biggest way I cope during like holidays is like I need to at least have some time set apart that it's just gonna be me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you
too.
also have like a lot of feelings that I think you need to confront that only you can do.
Exactly.
And you don't need the outside social pressure of it to like
Yeah.
change how you feel about it.
Like I definitely need space just to process
Yeah.
things, and I feel like I
Yeah.
need a lot of that.
Me too. It's okay.
So I really get that.
Yeah. I guess one thing we could talk about would be if we don't feel like we can find that time for ourselves, other ways that we can cope. I mean, I guess confiding in your friends or
Yeah.
people who are outside of your family,
Mm-hmm.
if what's causing stress is from family or whatever is going on during the holidays.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think families definitely are a stressor for most people, just because of different dynamics, and then the nature of the holidays. Your family
Yeah.
is more inclined to be a little bit more stressful to deal with at times.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely helpful, like having it someone outside, like an outside perspective too, I think can kind of ground you a little bit. And then I still think too, like just knowing your own boundaries with my own family has been really important as I've gotten older. Because when I was younger, that wasn't something that really existed with them, and my family's always been a little bit more dysfunctional. So like kind of what we were talking about with awkward questions, my family would love to just throw that at you. And I've realized that it's okay to be like, well, I just don't want to talk about that, or can we talk about something else? And that doesn't make it awkward. It's just like, hey, we don't need to bring this up right now. Like, I'm not comfortable with this being mentioned right now, type of thing. And that's really helped me, I think, especially like just my relationship towards my family in general.
Yeah, that's so great. Because I think a lot of the times, like, the word boundaries is thrown out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like, Faith, you just gave such a great example of what it looks like in practice. You know, and boundaries are what we do to protect ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is our job to vocalize or sometimes to physically create boundaries.
Yeah.
But it really is just showing up in a kind and compassionate way, but saying, hey, that's not something I really want to talk about right now.
Yeah, I think people definitely have view boundaries as it being like this really intense thing that you need to set, and then it never changes. Because it can definitely be uncomfortable at first, because when I first started doing that with my family, they're like, what? Yeah, they're like, we still want to talk about it. But with time, it's like, it doesn't, like, it's not that huge thing anymore. It just becomes so natural, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't okay for me to ask that question. That's fine. We can talk about something else. And then it just becomes more like part of you, I guess. It just gives you the peace of mind of knowing that it's okay to do that.
Yeah, it becomes less uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you really have, like, setting boundaries is ultimately self-advocating. And I think a lot of people who maybe have like people-pleasing tendencies or very like conflict avoidant, it can feel like incredibly daunting, especially with your closest people, which is normally your family. Like, they're actually the hardest people to set boundaries with. It's a lot easier to practice this with, like,
friends,
you know, friends,
definitely. Because I think with family, you think that you owe them more of yourself because they're literally your blood, and like, you've grown up around them your whole life. But like, that's not necessarily the healthiest thing all the time. But it really is so daunting. I've definitely had this people pleasing tendency, so at first it was so hard for me to adjust to, and I'm like, why do I feel better now that I actually address these things?
I feel like I definitely have those people pleasing tendencies, so I'm personally still working through that.
And most people are and this isn't something that, like, I hope listeners are thinking like, oh, they're going to become like experts at one day. I think it's acknowledging like it is uncomfortable and yet maybe still try it out because it's probably sometimes the healthiest things we can do are uncomfortable.
I live by that. And I think like how healing isn't linear, like boundaries aren't also linear all the time because they change so much throughout your life and your needs are just different. So like the things that you need to take for yourself or give away just change.
Exactly.
Like coming with maturing and realizing your own and coming into your own other than having your family influence it.
Because especially, sorry, one more thing. This is such a, like, I love this topic, but I just feel like when we are on healing journeys, we really start to understand what we need. And sometimes that looks different than what we thought we needed as children, right? In like a family system. So it would be common probably when you're in college to really, and you're away for the first time from your family system where a lot of this, you have like new perspective.
That's exactly what it is, I think. So, because I definitely felt that out for my first year of college. When I came back to my family, I was like, why do I feel so awkward and different all of a sudden? It just felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb, even though I was still like the same person. But you just start growing so much that becomes, you're like, I don't actually fit in the same way. Like, I still love these people, I still want to be here. It's just like, I guess the way that I have to show up is a lot different.
That's so true. That is so true. Because, like, I feel that way sometimes, and I don't understand why. Because I feel like why am I not? I'm not different in a bad way, but I just feel different. Like, it's such a weird feeling, but I feel like you put that into perfect words. And I think from a family perspective, and like if they're having trouble understanding boundaries at first, I guess can come from a point of view of like they don't want to not see you grow, but like grow up, and like they always are gonna want you to be like the little baby and like you need help.
Yeah.
Which also isn't necessarily like the healthiest, but like, do you know what I mean?
No,
it's
I
just,
get
like,
that.
Totally.
It can be hard for them to adjust to.
Yeah. Because change is hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard for parents too, I can imagine. Yeah, seeing that for their kids.
Let's take a moment to acknowledge St. Clair Health. We're deeply grateful for their generous sponsorship of the 5 seasons of Teens Tap In.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve so we can be stronger together by creating reliable resources that recognize all of our neighbors with access to the highest quality healthcare, advanced care close to home, and a shared humanity that delivers on our joint vision to create a healthier community for all. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
So I guess going into the harder part of this podcast today, we just start with a simple yet like deeply
Kind of like
hard
broad.
question. Yeah. What does grief during the holidays look or feel like to you? For me, I guess kind of bouncing back into what we were saying before, people change over the years. Not always in a bad way, but just how I was when I was younger with my family who came in is a lot different than how it is now. So just the grief and like the holidays won't feel the same as they used to, just because I've kind of grown up and I still love seeing them and doing things with them, but I also have other priorities too. So I guess that's the grief in like my younger years, even though I'm not that old. But
well, I completely understand that though.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think too, for like grief for me during the holidays has always looked a little bit different. Like I think when I first started realizing that holidays didn't feel the same, like when it lost that spark originally, it felt like I was grieving my childhood more than anything else. And that's sometimes just really hard to get over because it's like, well, I won't have that back. Like there's nothing you can do to ever get that exact feeling back. And I think for me it was still helpful to be like, you can still have a more playful side to you, or like a more kind of childlike, or just a little bit of a whimsy to you that doesn't have to go with time. And I think that balance is sometimes a little bit hard to find. And then I know for me, like I've lost a lot of my family members, so when holidays like groups get smaller, like that's a really sad thing to like walk into a room and the people that you want to be like want there just aren't there. And I definitely like had a lot of resentment when those people passed away towards holidays in general, because I was like, well, I don't want to do this if this person isn't here. And then I think I just had to reframe it a little bit in my head, but it's like, oh, but there are still people who are here, and they are still people that depend on you. Like it doesn't just go away because those family members aren't there. And then like when I was taking myself away from those events, I'm like, oh, I'm also stripping them of the right to see me. Like so they lost this, but they're also losing me if I continue to like withdraw from it. And that's definitely like pushed me to like, especially with older relatives, to continue to like continue to be around them and just try to make the best out of it, I think.
Yeah, that's incredible perspective. Faith. Amazing.
It really is.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I've had a pattern in the past where like relationships ended around the holidays, and I felt like that was very painful for me. And like there was a lot of for many years like heartbreak around the holidays. And you know, it's that time where I feel like relationships are kind of really highlighted.
Highlighted is a good word.
And I felt like that was just I just felt a lot of pain in my heart.
That's definitely
that's understandable.
I've been going, like I went through that last year, and then I suffered a loss like that again a few weeks ago.
Oh,
so
sorry to hear that.
It's okay. But, like, it is something, like, I have noticed to kind of, because you're right, like, holidays magnify, like, love and relationships so much that I've just decided to be off of social media. Like, TikTok, I have not touched, I haven't looked at. I'm like, no.
That's an incredible coping skill.
I was like, there's just no, because it's so hard to, like, see people in love and just, like, oh, this is what we should have been doing, or, like, this is what I want to do. And then it's also, like, the social pressure of it.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, what is wrong with me that I'm not doing this right now? And it has, like, honestly changed a lot of things. Like, I've definitely been able to, like, deal with it so much better, like, having that just not at all in my life.
Right, not seeing any of that. Yeah. I feel like for me too, like, journaling has always been something that I've been able to lean on, and just hard experiences, hard feelings.
Yeah, on journaling, I've been journaling every night for the past, like, 3.5 years.
That's amazing. I love that.
So cool, Sarah.
I started in, like, a notebook, and then I kind of was like, I don't like writing because I had too many thoughts.
Yeah,
so
you couldn't get them out quick enough.
No, I couldn't. So, like, of course I resorted to my phone, and it's just called, like, Journal Today, and every
Is it
night,
an app?
I like that.
It's a little. It has, like, a little pink icon, and, like, you can go in and, like, you can put pictures from your day in it. You, like, label the day, and then you just
so cool.
I started it when I was in high school and was, like, having a hard time. But it's just followed me, and if I looked through all the entries, they like date back to, like, 2022.
Oh, I love it.
So, but it helps me a lot because I have so many thoughts in my head, and like, yeah, it's just a great way of coping too.
It's a great way of coping, yeah.
Because it's like getting it out there. Like,
exactly.
You're at least able to be like, okay, this is how I feel. It takes the pressure off of, like, it just stewing in your mind, and there's nowhere for it to go, kind of thing.
It's just incredible introspection, which is processing.
Yeah.
And we can then, I don't know about you, like, I started journaling in high school myself, so, like, oh gosh, over, like, 10 years. Oh my gosh, wait. 15 years? I don't know. A long time. But I found that I've really been able to create a really positive friendship with myself.
Yeah.
So even if I've lost people that I would have hoped I never did, you can always come back to yourself. And I find a lot of, like, comfort in that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's healthy, but sometimes I go through and look at the journals, and I click a random day just to see how I was feeling that day. And I'm like, oh gosh. Or I'm like, aw, like, there's so many different.
Yeah. I'm such a reminiscer.
I
love reminiscing.
I love nostalgia.
Yes.
And that's also why I think, like, grief can sometimes feel so overwhelming to me during the holidays, because I'm like, let me look back at all of these things that I miss right now.
Exactly.
And it's like, why am I picking at that wound? But sometimes it is helpful to, like, take a minute, sit with the memory, and be like, okay, this doesn't have to hurt so much anymore.
Because it was still a good memory when it was happening.
And, like, sometimes I think that gets, like, so clouded when things happen, or if a breakup or friendship ends, or even death. It's like that happiness from the memory gets so stripped away. But sometimes just sitting with it or writing it out, and then you look back at it later and you're like, oh, this was such a nice time for me. Like, I really like being able to have this and, like, move forward with it, I think.
Exactly. Something I've, like, learned to do is, like, give a hug to, like, past experiences that were really difficult. And it kind of brings in that warmth that was like stripped away, or that happiness, and it kind of just balances things in a to be in a better
I like
place.
that term a lot. Give a hug to a memory. I really like that. That like made me smile. I like that.
But I think a lot of that you were saying that does get stripped away. For those who, like, don't give a memory a hug, I guess, can, I would say, make the holidays feel definitely heavier. As opposed to it feeling lighter. But I think, I don't know, I love that term too.
I know, it's like so perfect.
I wanted to elaborate on it, but I'm at a loss for words with it. Like,
I think, like, because the holidays, like you said, it feels so heavy, and it's like, that's sometimes the only term that makes sense. It's like, you just feel kind of drained, like, everything, like, the happy things that are happening around you sometimes just don't, like, hit in the same way, or they don't register in the same way. So I think something that has helped me too is, like, because sometimes we say we want to live in the moment, and then that's hard to do in practice, because then you're just still sitting there being like remembering everything that happened or thinking about everything that you're wishing for in that moment. So for me, I think I like have really been working on just directed focus. Like, so like I went like last week to look at some lights with my family, and at first it was so sad, and I was like thinking about all of these things that I wanted, and then I was like looking at my nephew, and I'm like, I'm just gonna like hang out with this kid the entire time. I'm gonna be fully present in everything that he wants to look at, and he's pointing to everything, and he's so excited. And that also to me was like, oh, like kids that are around you too, like they bring back so much of that magic.
Oh, they do,
because they're the ones that are feeling it. Like we might not feel it in the same way, but seeing him like believe in Santa and be so pumped for Christmas. Santa is real. But him being so like excited about it has just like really helped me, I think, connect back to some of those emotions too.
I think that's why I struggle, because I'm the youngest of 4 sisters, and I'm 21. But like I do have younger cousins, but I don't ever see them. I don't like, I'm not around kids a lot. I mean, I do coach a 15-year-old team, so, but they brought up the idea of like Secret Santa. So I am really excited for that.
That is fun.
That's so fun.
The idea of like them bonding over Christmas and all that is like a joy. But yeah, I just, sometimes I do struggle with that, but finding like being in the present is definitely more important than anything.
It's just sometimes so hard to do that, and I think
so hard.
Like something too, if you don't have kids in your family, like I did my like Christmas, like the thing that you do in Walmart where you go and you pick a family and you get like presents for them. I did that this past weekend, and that always just makes me so happy, because then I'm thinking about like that picture, like them opening it on Christmas Day, and I don't know, that like giving during the holidays is also something that I think has really helped me. Because, I mean, we give gifts to our family, and that also feels really good. But all of those forms of just giving back, I think, does that karma or those good feelings do come back to you in return.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's such a form of connection that, you know, ultimately grief is loss. And that is going to take us normally into the past.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of times we can feel that heavy feeling you were talking about, Faith, or you can just feel really disconnected from the moment, from the present. So I feel like creating some new forms of connection, whether that's like, I'm going to connect to the twinkling lights outside for a second, right? Or I'm going to connect to filling the shoebox with things from Five Below for this kiddo and put a smile on their face. Like any form of little connection you can create is most likely going to help you feel a little better.
Yeah.
Even if that doesn't last the whole day or the whole holiday season.
Because I think even those temporary moments of happiness are so important. Like, even if it doesn't last, it, like, any of that, like, relief just makes the holidays, like, a lot easier to handle, I think.
I do too.
I actually meant to ask you about that Walmart thing. So I wanted to do it, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
So a lot of them, all you have to do is walk in, and like towards where like you would do the returns, they'll usually have a tree, and then it'll have like name tags of like it'll say like girl like this age, and then it'll list like everything that they want.
My gosh, I need to do that.
And I got so pumped because I really love. Have you seen the Fugler creatures? Like they're the weird looking like stuffed animals.
Yes.
I love them. And then the little girl like that I got wanted some, and I was like, this. I was born to give this girl. Like, I was like, this is exactly where I was supposed to be. Like,
I love that.
And like, it doesn't even have to be anything. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy expensive, because I know there's also the aspect of that. Sometimes it is harder to financially give anything, but it's still, anything just feels like really good, because it's like families that are struggling that wouldn't normally have access to that. And I think just being able to give them any little Christmas like spirit helps.
Definitely.
I love the idea of that. Something important with the topic of like grief and coping with it, we should talk about the importance of having the person you can go to, or the idea of sort of finding a new person if the person that you did turn to for everything, whether it was like family, if they did pass away, or the breakup, or things like that, or a friendship break, anything, just adapting to looking into a different direction of guidance from someone else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Because that can also be hard.
Definitely.
Because I think when you lose anything, like no matter how you lose them, there's that immediate feeling of like you feel so alone. And then sometimes the holidays magnify that feeling just because you do feel a little bit separate from everything else and everyone around you. And I think I've always found the most support in my friends. Like even when I've lost another friend, like being able to still have someone you can turn to no matter what is so incredibly helpful. And then for me, like I can't ever recommend it enough is therapy. Like I've been with my therapist for 10 years, like since I was 13. And like especially during holidays, like I do find myself being able to just vent out those feelings and like productively work on them. So even if it's like harder to make friends sometimes or have those people in your life, I think it's important to know that there are other resources of people that you can actually talk to if you can't have them. Like sometimes you can't even talk to your own family, which is really hard. But hopefully too that you do have someone at least in your family that you can share some of that with anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna recommend, some people don't feel like they can trust their family or their friends. There's still fear of judgment for a lot of people in a lot of different situations, or shame, guilt, embarrassment. Like these are common feelings that we experience, particularly around the holidays, where again a lot is just magnified. And if you're not this one little perfect thing that is being magnified, you're probably going to feel some other emotions about that. I think the cool thing about working with a counselor, like a professional in the mental health field, is we're objective. So we're not, there's no, you don't have to worry about judgment. You don't have to worry about this information getting out. And we're not part of your family who naturally is going to have some bias a lot of the time. And I think that's one way that I think, if you feel comfortable, you definitely have to find the right fit counselor. Make sure that you do feel comfortable with them, but it can be a really cool outlet just to be able to share what you're experiencing with somebody that you can trust, and you don't have to really worry about what you're saying ever coming back and like impacting you in a certain way.
Yeah, I think that's huge, because with my family too, it's always been good to have like my therapist who like she knows me, but she's unbiased about the family in general, like what you said. Because then it's different. Sometimes even with friends, they can have more bias towards your situation. And then especially with family, like you don't want to bring a lot of that in, because you're like, what if they tell my uncle or something? And then so having like someone that completely is just separate from all of that is a really good outlet, like what you were saying. I think that's a huge part of it.
Like a confidential safe space. Just
like
to go.
Like a person as a safe. That you can just like vent all your secrets to, and know that nothing's gonna.
It's kind of like the same with your journals too, like putting it into a safe space that like you're still ranting it out and getting it out in some way.
Definitely.
So to conclude, we want to express our gratitude to St. Clair Health, whose support makes this podcast possible. We invite you to listen to the following message from our sponsor.
At St. Clair Health, we're always improving, building on our commitment to face the challenges of today, making an impact on the communities we serve, so we can be stronger together. St. Clair Health, expert care from people who care.
We're grateful to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting our podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to everybody.
And
Most important part.
See ya in the new year.
Yes.
The views and opinions expressed in the Teens Tap In podcast represent the opinions of the hosts and their guests. The views and opinions expressed by Outreach Teen and Family Services employees, donors, and volunteers are their own and do not necessarily reflect the view of Outreach Teen and Family Services or the show's sponsors. The content here should not be taken as counseling advice. The content here is for informational purposes only, and because each person is unique, Please consult your mental health provider or physician for any mental health counseling or other medical questions. The podcast should not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever, including, but not limited to, establishing a standard of care in a legal sense, or as a basis for expert witness testimony. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast. If you find any error in any of the content of the podcast, please contact us at podcasts@outreachteen.org. Outreach Teen and Family Services, its sponsors, donors, and partners expressly disclaim any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages whatsoever arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, reliance on, or inability to use this podcast or the information presented in this podcast. Please go to www.outreachteen.org to see the complete notice and disclaimer for the podcast episodes.